Hey guys, this is episode 3 of Whiskey and Cigars. We're with my brother today, Dan. He's already got his cigar lit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to light mine up, but we're drinking some, it's terrible. Sorry, Jim Beam. Jim Beam Red Stag Black Cherry. I'm mixing it with Dr. Pepper.
I have it straight, so
It's still not good.
yeah, I haven't had it yet, so we'll see my reaction.
Yeah, so today we're actually, I got some questions to ask him about filmography because he's a big boy director now.
Content creator, yeah. So
his YouTube channel is Reign Supreme. If you want to spell it to him,
I changed it. It's just my name, Danny Kubiak on YouTube. You can check it out. I've got some cool stuff on there, but eventually we'll start cataloging it once it hits off. But due to the coronavirus, there's not really much I could do. So besides go to a park, but no one wants to see a vlog of a park 400 times. So yeah, so
on the cornfield.
Yeah.
All right, so first question is going to be, what was your worst experience on a film set?
On a project? Well, there's a lot, but I could say when before I graduated college at the University of Buffalo, I worked on my final film project, which was a war film titled Brotherhood, which John and his good friend Peyton starred in, and I used a Canon C100, which at the time was the best Canon camera we could use at the school. I loved it. I still love it. If I play with it again, it'll be fun. But that was back in 2017, and it was just myself, John, and Peyton, and that's it. I filmed, and the footage looked amazing. But for some reason, after we were done filming, it didn't record any audio from the footage, and I guess that was it was my mistake. I'm not going to say guess it was, but I should have checked into it and stuff like that. And yeah, it was pretty bad. But and then the project was due a week before we were done filming, a week after we were done filming, and yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I was trying to figure out should we scrap it and do the film all over again? And I was like, no, this footage is good. And then I thought, just pre-record the lines. They're wearing masks in the film, so it's lucky I don't have to, go over lip syncing and all that stuff. So that was kind of lucky. But at the time, I didn't know what room tone was, so I literally had audio of their recordings over music, and it just sounded very fake and robotic, and that was pretty nerve-wracking.
Me and Peyton are not the best actors.
Yeah, so. And it's a lot different, recording audio on set versus, in-house, because, you're developing the character detail while you're on set, and while you're actually, sitting there recording it, you don't have it as, prominently. But yeah, I'd say that was probably my worst. So, and luckily for me, it was my last project before I graduated, so it's pretty funny.
The one thing I forgot about when we started recording is telling them which cigars we're smoking.
Oh, yeah.
We are both smoking the Shizu Torpedoes. I got these from Cigar Page. Check them out. I love them.
Yeah, they're good.
No, not the cigar. The Page. Best deals ever. And it arrives in a week.
This isn't sponsored. That's just as a pity.
Yeah. If Cigar Page would like to sponsor me, give me coupons.
One day,
yeah. But they're good cigars. They're in the medium range. I mean, I got 10 of them for $18, so let's say $2 a pop, which isn't bad. These are what I call a barn smoker, something you just want to smoke and you light one up type thing. Yeah. Not like my father's cigars, which I would smoke, on a good occasion.
Yeah.
But let's go to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best time working on a project? What was the best thing about it?
Or just in general, what was my best one?
Well, I'd say your greatest memory working on it.
So I think when it comes to filmmaking, learning new things and kind of elevating your critique of filmmaking is always, in my opinion, great because you're always learning. back in...
I can't.
You can't drink it? I haven't had it yet, so I guess... I'll take a minute.
You're drinking straight.
We'll take it. You know what? I'll pause a minute. Let's give it a shot.
I like bourbon, but like...
I've never had this. I'm not a whiskey dude. I'm a vodka and like Red Bull dude, but, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens. It's sweet. It's not like...
If it ain't Pendleton whiskey...
it's not as strong. What is it, 40 proof?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, you're a gin guy, too.
Yeah. Like I had Bombay Sapphire. I like 55%.
See, I like the regular version. I don't like the mixed crap. Unless it's a cocktail, like an actual cocktail.
Yeah. But, well, a lot of my friends, they drink, rum and Coke, or Jack and Coke. And
you ever got straight Crown Royal?
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
No, you gotta have Crown Royal by itself.
No, just straight. Not even like a mix like this. Yeah. It's disgusting. Yeah. I actually threw up, and I don't throw up.
You have to do the flavors like apple or.
I don't maple. See. That's the thing. I don't like. I tried this because I wanted to try it, and I feel like I poured out more than I've actually drank. But yeah.
Well, that's my opinion. I honestly don't think it's too bad, but then again, I'm a gin and vodka guy, so I guess it's different. But anyways, back to the question. I don't remember the summer, but we're from Buffalo, and like most cities, they do a lot of film festivals. And one of the film festivals I was joined on was the Buffalo 48. Long story short, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got to complete a film and produce it within 48 hours, and then you go up against other teammates or teams, and basically, the best one wins. And it's pretty cool because the winner, their film gets submitted to a film festival, and then if that one submits it, it'll go to the Cannon Film Festival, which is in LA, which is pretty cool. But I was joined on by a good friend of mine. His name's Andy. I did a lot of plays with him back when I was in high school, and he asked me, he's like, hey, you went to school for film, what do you think about hopping on? I said, absolutely. And, he was telling me about how he has people all the way from Rochester to Albion to Buffalo to even Syracuse that were on the team. And I showed up, and I was like the little kid on the block. These guys were like, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and I'm like this 24-year-old dude. And I'm like, doing my thing. But at first it was overwhelming, but, eventually I got to meet a lot of people, and then doing the stuff. I met a good friend of mine, Jason. He's actually the one that sold me the camera that we're filming on. Really cool dude. He taught me a whole bunch of stuff about cinematography and gimbals and black magics and metabones and all that fun stuff, which I know is not crazy. And then, I was just hired as basically like a PA assistant director, like nothing crazy, just kind of like, an asset. And it was pretty cool because the first day when we were finishing up character development, the guy that was supposed to play the demon/zombie/entity in the film, he couldn't make it for some reason. And everybody was like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? And then they're all like, oh, what about that kid? And then they pointed at me, and I'm like, and I ended up, not starring, but, being an actor in the film. Yeah, I was a demonic entity. But, yeah, everybody on set, I met a lot of cool people, makeup artists, special effects, editors, audio engineers, these guys that basically, it was overwhelming in, a great way, and I learned so much from it. And if you want to check it out, the film's on YouTube. It's called Sojourn by Andy Rich and myself. Sojourn. The title, whatever it's called. What is it?
Name? No,
not the name. I'm having a blank.
YouTube channel?
No, the picture.
Thumbnail?
Yeah, the thumbnail. Sorry, I was having a blank, but
I'm a professional YouTuber.
It's a picture of a girl holding a book out. It's a pretty cool story. It's about 10 minutes. We didn't win, unfortunately, but it really is a good film. Cinematically, in my opinion, I thought it was cool, and the story was a pretty diverse one. Oh, that's another thing is through the film festival, they give you 3 things that you have to follow. They usually get a character's name, a specific title or phrase you have to say in the film, and you pick a name out of the hat of the genre. And we picked, I think it was was like fantasy and like sci-fi horror or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, I would have just done a war movie.
Yeah. Well, you have to, if you pick that one, that's the one you have to do. You can't, otherwise you get disqualified. So it kind of, encourages
a war horror movie.
Yeah, encourages a creative aspect, but everybody from that film set, Andy, Jason, and the rest of the team.
Did they give you food? Was there a food cart there?
Well, Andy and his group, they supplied us with food. We actually completed the film early, and Andy was excited because this was like the first time that we actually got it done. So next to his office where we stayed, there's a bar that he's good friends with, and we were having a good time and all that stuff. But it was really cool. But yeah, so that's it.
What's your favorite thing to do in filmography? Like on a set or post?
I have two. I love all of it, but I can give you my two best and then two worst, like least. My favorite things to do on set is I love being a DP or a cinematographer, and
what does DP stand for?
DP stands for Director of Photography / Cinematographer. Basically what that is basically a director who is in charge of analyzing the frames of what you're trying to capture to kind of explain and convey a story element to a film. And so that's my favorite thing to do on set. And my favorite thing to do in post-production is post-production. I love editing. I've worked on a lot of projects, everything from music videos to short films to features and stuff like that, and I still do. I am the media director for my young adult group at my church called Activate. I produce all the promos and trailers and videos and stuff like that for social media. That's fun. And yeah, and then my least favorite thing to do is, hence back to Brotherhood, is audio. I hate audio.
That's why you gotta hire somebody to film.
Yeah, it was like
boom mic.
Yeah, for every filmmaker, if you can get a boom mic, it'll save you. It'll make the audio 100% better. If you can't afford a boom mic and a Tascam, run in extent like a Rode microphone. Do not use the camera's audio whatsoever. It's horrible. And if you do get a Rode microphone and you're shooting outside, use a windbreaker because you're going to get the constantly.
Like a first round.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that. And then audio I think is my least favorite. I don't really have any of these.
Now to go off topic, what's the film that inspired you to start filmmaking? Like what was the film that you watched hands down and you just like, you know what? It's so like, this movie just makes you want to make a film.
Trying to remember.
Mine was when I was younger. It was Gran Torino.
Oh yeah.
I loved the story. How there had the main plot, but inside it had other plots and other meanings. Yeah. And now it would be probably my favorite movie of all time. Well, one of them, Rio Bravo. Just like the story, even though it's kind of cheesy, but I just love those old Western movies with John Wayne and. I like cowboy movies, who could tell? But, no, it's just, I just love, how they were made, how they're, my favorite part of, other than, the acting and the story, is the music. I just love how, music can change a whole scene. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, sometimes you don't even need music, those old noir films. Noir, where, they have, they're in interrogation and they have and it's just a still no music and they have the stillness. What was your, movie that got you into it?
I have two. One I learned from as a child, and then another one I learned from film school. The film school one was I know it sounds cliche, but Psycho, the original Psycho, with Alfred Hitchcock, I believe, directed it. It was a great film, and I watched it twice in 2 film classes in my semesters, and conveying the cinematography and the way that it was shot, and the story outline, it kind of impacted me. And then the other one, when I was a kid, around 7th grade or 8th grade was Armageddon by Michael Bay. One of the few films that I know a lot of people are probably going to bash me because Michael Bay, Transformers and all those.
He did a great 13 hours movie job.
Yeah.
I read the book, and it's pretty much identical to what. Yeah, when he has like a set track and people help guiding him, but when the producers say, "Hey, just make a Transformers movie," he just goes all out, and he just doesn't know how to limit himself.
Right.
Especially with like Pearl Harbor, that movie.
Yeah.
And just all the explosions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd say Armageddon just because of, like John said, the audio, the music. Hans Zimmer did the audio scoring, which was awesome.
He's got to be the best, movie, music producer.
Yeah, he's one of Hollywood's tops.
I mean, he did Band of Brothers. He did the Pacific. Yeah. He's done a lot.
Yeah. So those are my two. So.
All right. So what would you give for people who are just trying to start out with film? What would you tell them to do, advice wise?
Let's see. So, I know a lot of people say this. Give as much time as you can on a project.
Don't rush it out like that.
Yeah, don't rush it out for anything. Otherwise,
that's okay.
You'll eventually, if you do rush it out, like 6 months after you produce the film and put it out, you're going to look back and be like, oh, wow, I wish I would have done this, and you basically hold regrets towards it. So yeah, just make sure you have time. If you are filming something, just make sure that it's a clear narrative to your actors, to your crew, and, if you're in film school, most of the time you're going to be filming with, your classmates, aka or friends, and, some of you can't be the best actors, and that's cool. Not everybody's an actor, but when you do bridge the gap and you do graduate and then you do get into freelance work or working on set as a production, find a group and hire delegate actors, because, working with your friends is great, but, if you can't get a film project done because your friends are, horsing around or being goofy, it's going to make you frustrated.
Get quality actors, because when I was filming SOK or Shadows of Korea, you could go watch it. I think it's horrible. It's honestly horrible. But I would have to change so much on the fly because somebody say they'd be coming and then they wouldn't show up. Remember Act 2?
Yeah.
Ian was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Who was playing Doc Valentine.
Yeah, what happened to him? He just canceled?
He just didn't show up. And we're in the middle of a creek.
Yeah.
And I just had to pretty much change the whole entire act just right then and there.
Yeah.
Throughout all the dialogue. I kept some of it. Just make sure you got quality people.
Yeah. Ones that actually care. They don't have to care as much as you do, but I know a lot of people that have shot films that have such a good narrative and have a good plot and have a good storyline, and it just falls apart because the actors that they have are just not. It's not good. And, in my opinion, I would sacrifice film quality for quality actors if I had to. I would film on a Canon T2i, which is like a 12-year-old camera, but have
iPad.
Or an iPad, not an iPad. I won't go that far, but
I did.
Yeah, I know you did, but because a film might look good,
Galaxy Notebook, but
if it looks good, but the story is kind of washed out, you're going to lose interest in the people that view it. But again, and then another thing is just don't be afraid to show creativity. While I was in film school, they kind of made it seem like everything was kind of cut and dry basics, and you had to, which is true. You do got to get the basics down, but if you want to experiment with something, you want to break the 180-degree rule, you want to, do a post narrative, you want to do something completely out of the box, go for it. Give it a shot, because somebody will enjoy it, and somebody will like it, and it'll be creative, and that's what art is. Filmmaking is art, so. I would just say that, and then that's it.
All right, we just hit the 20-minute mark.
Perfect timing.
That's pretty much what you messaged me, what you wanted to talk about on here. this was a last minute recording. Again, I know the last episode was a last minute.
Yeah.
We should plan. I should probably plan these out better, but we're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching episode 3 of. I keep trying to say Buffalo Cigars.
Yeah, don't say
of whiskey and cigars. Keep on smoking. Stay safe out there, and
God bless.
God bless America. Bye.
See ya.